Do I look like a radio salesman?
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
You don't.
It's better in Japanese.
We left off with Missing Fingers.
Yeah.
Jared Leto Clean is kind of working his way up the yakuza ladder here in the
Not quite officially in yet.
Not officially
about
in, but
to be.
He's about to be. He's cut off fingers. He's done a couple jobs. He's working his way up. He's slept with the guy's sister. So
Yep. It's the old classic first 45 minutes of Scarface.
Yep. And the Wolverine. We got a car ride, right? And we got Nick and the daddy boss,
Daddy Shiramatsu.
He's like, hey man, do you know who the traitor is?
He's like, no.
Okay, all right.
He's like, would you tell me if you did? He's like, yeah.
I mean, it's
fuck you, Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Bad line delivery.
So they drive, and then we get the shot from the trailer of them walking in the woods and they doing a little hike here, right?
The little hike, which again takes like 10 minutes because everything in this movie takes 10 minutes.
And then we get to like this like temple. It's all from the trailer, right? So we get this temple shot. Not a funeral. You were correct. It was a ceremony.
The initiation.
Yep.
All the guys are lined up.
Yep. Getting inaugurated into the team, right? And Father, Daddy Shiramatsu. He's like, hey, you got no family, you got no home. You're basically a stray dog.
Yeah.
And I guess now he understood and speaks Japanese. Leto, that is. He drinks the tea, which at first when Kiyoshi, I thought he was like, no, man, don't drink the tea. That's not for you. No, he just does a little translating. He's like, now everyone clap. They clap. He's, hey, you're part of the
Well, it's you can drink and join me or stand outside.
Yes.
And continue to be an outsider because the outsider. Don't forget how many times we're going to say outsider later.
That's right. Oh, my God. They say the title of the movie.
So then, everybody claps, which they say, everybody clap. It's like very Jeb Bush. And then Kiyoshi and Nick just kind of stare at each other and they're like, brothers.
Now we are brothers. And you sleep with my sister. Isn't that weird?
Did we just become best friends?
Oh, so think about how many times they say the outsider. I mean, every time isn't the word gaijin?
Gaijin?
Yeah, that's outsider, right?
Yeah. So. Like a million.
That's even funnier. And then they actually say the outsider, I think, later on.
Yep.
Okay. And then we're at a bar, right? We're hanging out, we're drinking.
Yep.
And then
partying
we get
with the boys.
This was the only other time, or this is the second or maybe three times where I noticed the Leto paying attention to helicopters as they flew over thing.
Yep, I think this is the next one. Yeah, then Kiyoshi comes over and he's like,
confronts about the sister and be like,
she's 28, she can make her own decisions, but also
not you.
No. Also, she can't make her own decisions. And he's like, this one time, this guy had his wife and child kidnapped and murdered, and then he did revenge on him, and it was a whole thing, exhausting for everyone. He was like, so you're trading one family for another. You can't go back. You're Yakuza now. You got it. We're brothers. I have lots of brothers, but only one sister, and she was a virgin. And he's like, I don't think so. You're like, what? Why is this a line? And then he's basically just like, all right, well, don't see my sister. Congratulations. We're brothers. Smell ya.
Yeah. That's an awkward line to say. And then we got the kind of the tap parlor montage here, right?
Yep, exactly.
And this is just about halfway. Scene, maybe a little like midway through the scene. So we're an hour in, an hour left.
Yep.
Leto he's starting to get tatted up, right? And who's there with him? Miyu.
She's just like watching weirdly. You're like, it's basically from the trailer. Then the lines they had him in a different spot, kind of, right? But
koi fish up the waterfall becomes a dragon, right?
Right. So do you know it means you're arrogant, which he is.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what does your tattoo mean then? Like, and she's like, do you think you got the same as me? Because you didn't. I have one swimming up and one swimming down. Ooh. And he's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, then explain it to me.
Yeah.
Clown.
Yeah. Go ahead. Tell me what it's about. He's like, I understand. Like a robot. Do you though? Okay.
I compute.
Sometimes
in life we fight the current, electrical current, and other times it's important to flow with the river. And she's like, yeah. All right, let's bang.
Let's do this. And then we cut to a montage, right?
Yep, we're gonna do a montage.
We got some gambling going on. We got Leto Jared Leto there collecting some money, right? So you can see he's doing jobs, he's doing work for him. Time is passing. You see him also kind of sneakily hanging with his sister. We got Orochi looking down. Bum, bum, ba-na. He sees her, right? Doing some more jobs. More tattoos, right? He's kicking drunk people out of bars, right?
Well, because he's getting Jared Leto's getting a back piece like.
Yes, the
sister. Like a full back with like
going all in
color shading, lots of like this is like presumably weeks of sessions of tattoos.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not like it's slowly filling in as they go. So it's
hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, time, so much time, and he heals pretty quickly too. So
like Morbius.
Yeah, Mike Morbius. More sister stuff. Yep. More tattooing. Drinks of the team. Bathhouse bros drinking tea in the bathhouse. Right.
Gotta have a bathhouse. Yeah.
Gotta have a bathhouse with your bros. Right. And then Leto just being kind of creepy, I think. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we get another guy notices the sister, and the Nick notices that he notices that she notices, and
this is another notices. people watching people.
That's right.
Right.
I think it's people. Yeah.
Yeah. People eating people. Okay. Yeah. And then we cut to the train. Train ride, and like it's a quick like.
Yep.
Jared Leto and his sister kind of like eyeing each other right from afar, and then behind her at the end though is a that a Seizu? Seizu? Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a Seizu guy. Yeah. One of the friends of Glasshead. And
then we got another people watching people move.
Yep.
So
love it. Love to see it.
Then we cut through like walking through our warehouse market kind of area, right?
Yep. And dudes in suits in formation.
Yep. And then we're in the boss, Daddy Boss's office there, right?
Yep.
And an offer comes in.
Yeah.
If you call
some
it
kind
that.
of offer.
I mean, come on. Yeah. Like
insulting.
Yeah. Insulting. 10%. Come on. 10%.
Do I look like a radio salesman?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. My head doesn't come off the pillow for less than 50. All right.
That's right. So apparently he's trying to get him in on this radio scheme where he's like, oh no, we got all these radios. The Americans are going to buy them. It's going to be a whole
dummies.
thing. It's a joint venture.
Yeah. We got them. We're going to get them.
And the other Shiramatsu fellas are like, hey boss, like we should
Orochi
10% radio. Yeah. We could be radio salesmen.
Yeah.
And he's like, you
what?
idiots. We won't be under Seizu.
No. That's all it's going to come down to is we're just going to be under his command. That's
exactly.
That. Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, white boys, get out of here.
Yeah. Clear the room. Jack Nicholson or Ray Nicholson and Jared Leto. And then they just have a chat, but we see there's some strife with the old boss, right? Stubborn in his ways, and we got Orochi who's trying to pull them in and get them all together, working together to whatever. So he's a traitor bastard, anyways.
Well, we don't know that yet for sure.
Well, I mean, come on.
I mean, we can assume.
Yeah. And then we're at the bar, right? And Orochi's he's getting drunk and he's just kind of speaking his mind to Kiyoshi and Jared Leto, right?
He's like, I don't think Daddy knows what he's doing anymore. We should do a coup. And everyone's like, whoa. Maybe don't lead with that.
Yeah. Keep it down.
Yeah. And then like Kiyoshi just like walks away.
Yeah.
Like what? And then we get a whole thing about the story of when he was a boy and some guy robbed him and then his dad bashed him.
Yeah.
And it's like supposed to be like this whole sob story about how he met Kiyoshi. And he's like, no, you don't get it. You're still a stupid American.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't fit in here. Kiyoshi's my brother. And he busted my dad's head with a metal pipe.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what?
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Can we go back to that verse?
Yeah. Excuse me.
He did me a favor.
And then we're at the bar later, right? Later on, we're with Miyu. She's like counting money from like her shift, right?
I think that's
Kiyoshi, Orochi, and Jared Leto chatting, right?
Yeah.
And then they finish their conversation, and it cuts to Orochi with the sister in like a back room while she's counting money.
Yes. Sorry, I thought do we want to say that he was trying to go like talk to Daddy to like convince him of his new idea?
Yeah, I mean, it's just reinforcing that he's drunk and he's gonna make a fool of himself. He does try again to go talk to Daddy Boss.
You're right. It doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things, but
yeah, because we already got. Like, I mean, I don't know what I guess I don't know. Just to show he was pushing. I don't
just
know.
being a jerk. Yeah.
Being a jerk. So
Speaking
of Jerktown, yikes.
Mm-hmm.
So Orochi comes into the back room there where Miyu is like counting her money from her shift, whatever, and he's getting a little pushed, getting very aggressive. Actually, not a little, very aggressive with her.
He turned into a beautiful woman.
Oh my god!
And then he keeps trying to touch her, and she's like, "Don't touch me, please."
She's like, "Yeah, we're done. We're done." They seem like they had a thing a long time ago, right?
Yep. He says he misses their time together, and he's like, "Aren't you lonely?" And then he keeps trying to like grab her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Stop! Don't grab me."
Yeah. He gets a little more aggressive with her, and he's like,
and he punches her.
Yeah.
He's
slapping her around, punching. Yeah.
You're like, okay. He's like, "You whore."
Yeah.
You're like, what?
That? Okay.
And he's like, "Well, if you're going to be a whore, then I'm going to make you a whore." And you're like, "Oh my god!" And he's like going to try to rape her.
Yeah, and then but then he sees his own reflection in like some whatever, something,
in a convenient mirror that's right there.
And then he's just like, oh no, what am I doing? I'm sorry.
Which not cool.
No,
I'm like glad. Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
He'll get what he gets.
He'll get what he gets. So then we cut to sumo wrestling, and basically this whole scene is it comes down. Actually,
we talked about it earlier. I don't think I take it back what I said in the very beginning of episode 1 when I was like, "Oh, but at least the directing was good." I hate this scene, the way that the scene is directed.
I do too, actually.
Why is it all quiet?
Yeah.
Like I was like, is my TV broken? Did the volume like turn down or something? And then like the music kind of started. And I was like, oh, okay.
It just I didn't. Why? What are you doing there? You know,
very frustrating.
So then the sumo wrestling kind of starts, and then basically what this whole scene is. Shizu and Boss Daddy there having a meet and greet and chatting about what's going on, right?
Right. Well, I don't think it's an intentional meet and greet. So it's the Seizu clan is there having a good time watching.
Oh, not intentionally. Yes.
And then it's like the boys here, the Shiramatsu boys show up, and they just like kind of, all right,
impromptu.
We're doing a face off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense.
And so the daddies sit next to each other, and one daddy is young daddy, Seizu daddy.
Young daddy and old daddy.
Okay. And they're like talking about insults and respect, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to insult you. I respect you." And he's like, "I'm just building a fence around you, and you can come into my fence garden so that you can retire and enjoy the garden." And he's like, "What are you metaphoring?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Your family can be part of mine as long as they don't go and make their own new family."
Yeah.
And then Daddy Shiramatsu's like, "Yo, we're wolves. You can't keep wolves in a fence, man."
Ooh, no, you cannot. No, you cannot.
Yeah. And he's like, "Well, careful on your way back to Kobe. Wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you." And then he walks out. Super cool.
Yeah, pretty badass.
And somehow there's still 40 minutes left of this movie.
Oh my goodness gracious. And then we're back in the warehouse market, right? And they're just walking around again, I think. They all go by the cars, they leave. Or they all don't leave. Nick sticks around with a couple other guys, right?
Well, they all start going, but this is when Emile Hirsch shows up.
Yeah. And they're like walking through the like random markets, and then Emile Hirsch is like, Leto? Nick? Nick? That you?
Is that you? Nick Lowell?
It's me. It's me. It's Paulie Bowers, man. I'm right here. Remember me?
Yeah. Looking good for a dead man.
Huh?
Like, what?
Okay. So Leto's like kind of caught off guard, and he's like, "Come on, man, have a drink." And Leto's like, "I should be with my new boys." And he's like, "What? You're not gonna have a drink with guy from your troop, or whatever, or your own squad?" And he's like, "Fine."
Except for all the lines that are delivered by Nick are horrible. Like, congratulations on your promotion.
Yeah.
And he's like, sick. He's like, you ever go out there where they drop the first one? And you're like, ugh.
Yeah. No. He's like, I did. I was like, maybe you shouldn't have. maybe we need some more science in that one, but probably shouldn't have gone over there.
Yeah, it seems not great. Probably.
Not good.
And he's like, looks like you made a good fucking life for yourself dressed like a lounge singer. I guess the yakuza outfits do kind of.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of lend it to that.
A little cheesy. Yeah.
A little bit. Hey, it's a clean suit.
Yeah. And then they talk more, and it like gets vaguely like we get kind of hinted at maybe some past crimes by Nick, where he's like,
Yeah.
"You weren't always so calm and quiet, you know."
Maybe you just didn't know me.
Yeah, and he's like, "I should come by your place sometime. Check it out." And he's like, "No,
No, absolutely." he's like, no, absolutely not.
And your 5 minutes are up. And he's like,
See ya.
Oh.
Oh man, we're just getting to the good stuff. And then Emile's just kind of like being really pushy, and then he's like, when he threatens him about like telling some of the guys, sure be pretty sad if the fellas back at the old crew there found out what you were doing, court martial, etc., etc., etc. Like, what kind of friend is this? He's like, yeah, I'm on leave for another day. And Leto's like, sure, come back.
Actually, just kidding.
Yeah.
Come have a drink with me.
Yes. Like, okay.
Nothing suspicious about that.
Not at all. Not at all. So then it's Mighty Morbin time. And then we're back at his place, this sweet apartment here, right? They go back to have a beer, right? And they're drinking some beers, and then Emile Hirsch there, Paulie Bowers, he's like, hey man, it's all good, don't worry, your secret safe with me.
Yeah.
But Leto clean knows no secret is safe as soon as you tell someone else.
That's right.
That's just how secrets work, I
mean, he does let him have one last American beer.
He does, and then he dangles some whiskey in his face. Yikes! Yeah. And instead of getting whiskey, he gets the old.
The line setup is like, "You like whiskey? Yeah, I got a surprise for you." and the surprise is a knife.
Yeah, gotcha. And he cuts his throat, and then there we are watching Emile Hirsch bleed out for so long. So long.
Yeah,
like,
and he's like, what?
Like,
it takes forever.
It's like, I know what you're trying to do. It's just not working. No. So he gone. Nick does look a little rattled after this, but then next day we're at the sister's door, right?
Yep.
And she's trying to hide her face,
and she doesn't answer, and so he kind of just like goes inside her house.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? And Nick finally sees her, and she's all bruised from getting punched in the face a bunch.
Yeah.
And he's like, who did this to you? Then he just like walks away from her. Yeah, this is like my favorite scene in the she just like walks away from her. She doesn't say anything, and then she just goes, there's a baby in me.
Yeah. I was like, what? I was like, what a line to drop for there.
And then it's like they like know that everyone was like, what? And so she just says it again. There's a baby in me.
It's ours.
It's ours.
Oh, okay.
And then she basically tries to convince him. She's like, it doesn't matter who did this. Just leave it. Like, you don't have to protect me. I just want everyone to get along and be together and raise our baby.
And she's like, get out of here. And he's like, all right. And he suits up and just drives. And then we're at Kiyoshi's house, right? Late middle of the night. And Leto here, he shows up and he's like, hey, man.
I betrayed you.
I betrayed you. That wasn't bad enough. She's got a kid and it's mine. Kiyoshi's like, Jesus.
He's like, well, Nick's like, if you want me to leave, I'll leave. Just say it.
Yeah.
He's like,
what?
Leave my sister with your child? Like,
yeah. What?
Yeah. So instead, he's like, get inside.
Yeah. No, you've already caused enough problems here. You need to own up to them. That's called being accountable. So then Kiyoshi goes in and grabs a couple swords, which will come back later.
Yeah. Well, I'm confused about the timing here because, like, presumably, if she's pregnant and knows it, like, weeks and weeks have happened over the course of this movie so far. And like, they both, I mean, I guess I don't know how long you have to have like your fingers bandaged up when you cut them off, but like they're all still doing bandaged finger stuff.
Yeah. The timing is kind of strange because it is supposed to take place over definitely a long time.
It's an epic, right?
Yeah. It's an epic, right? So do you think we would have been, I mean, we're very picky about these, but season or time passing title cards?
Ooh, I think in this case, it might have been helpful.
Just a little bit.
Just because then
it makes it feels like John. Then it stands out that like, oh wait, what? How long is it supposed to have been? Yeah, because
they didn't do a good job communicating it in the story. If they had been like, slip it into the dialogue. Don't you don't have to do the title cards. Just be like, oh wow, like remember a few weeks ago when we chopped our fingers off?
Oh yeah, man, that was like what, a Tuesday or Wednesday last week, 2 weeks ago.
do more tattoo sessions. Do another montage of like banging the sister and tattoo stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to do this.
All right. So
he tells us whole story, and he's like,
but
our dad
sister
left, which I was like, did he leave? Or like, I don't understand what happened. She's like, yeah, my sister was a baby and dad was drunk all the time. And like, he gave me these 2 swords before he left. I'm like, where did he go?
Yeah.
It's like, one's for war, one's for honor, one's for murder, one's for suicide.
For warring. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then he's like, here, she's yours to protect now. You got to protect her with the swords. That's what they're for, protecting me. And so he's like, all right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, one more thing.
Cut to Leto digging a grave for his buddy whose throat he slit.
Yeah, which I was like, unnecessary. Just like, who cares?
Yeah, and then this whole scene was very businesslike, and like, now we are truly brothers. And he says,
brother.
He's like, thank you, and they shake hands. End scene. Like, what?
So stupid. They just like kick the soldier's body into the grave and like toss his hat in there.
Yeah. See ya, fucker.
Like no one's gonna come looking for that guy.
Yeah, like
he's like a Marine captain or something.
Like he just got a promotion. Like someone's be like, "Hey, where's Paulie?" The really annoying guy who always wants to get a beer with you. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So dumb.
Oh man. So then we cut to we're with Sisu, right?
Which is when we get the big reveal that he's like, it's been Orochi the whole time. What? Yeah. What a surprise!
No way. So yeah, he's there.
Yes.
He's just like, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like, you won't even have to get your hands dirty at all. The family's breaking up. Like they're all mad at each other these days.
Yeah. And we'll keep this Leto clean.
That's right.
All right, so we go into a suit shop. Daddy Boss, right?
When Nick and Kiyoshi are on bodyguard duty today, I guess.
It's felt very Godfather feeling, but I'm sure it's also like,
intentionally
70s movies. You know what I mean? Other crime movies where it's like they go do something like kind of innocuous, and it's like, oh, we're just going to get a suit shop.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get stabbed.
Exactly. So they're both like, Nick and Kiyoshi are like, beautiful day, huh? Yep, beautiful day.
Yeah, something's going to go down. You're like, all right, it's either the shop's going to get shot up right now or someone's getting knifed in the back.
Yeah. Which, no one's getting knifed in the back, but he's getting choked to death.
Yeah. We got and Leto all of a sudden has like his Morbius senses kick off. He's like, hang on a second.
That guy wasn't a tailor.
Yeah. Wait a second. I should tell him he's a 32 long. He's like, let me go check on the old man. And he's not getting stabbed. He's getting choked out. And the little guy's like, wow, what are you doing in here, man? We're supposed to see me. What?
And Nick just immediately shoots him in the head. You're like, oh, that was easy.
Man. Donezo. So then this sequence, like the way this was shot and edited was pretty goofy.
Yeah.
So it's Kiyoshi.
Yeah, I take back every compliment we gave to the director.
Yeah, I do too. So maybe it's an editing thing too. But so Leto, Kiyoshi, and Daddy Boss there, they scuttle outside of the suit shop, right?
Yep.
Leto and Daddy Boss are in the back seat, right? Yep. And Kiyoshi's about to start driving.
The car won't start.
Classic horror movie, right? Car won't start, and Kiyoshi's like, "Hey, get your heads down," right? So. I'm trying to set the scene up because of how goofy this feels. So Leto and the old man are bent down in the back seat, right? Mm-hmm. He's still trying to start the car. Car's not going, right?
Yeah.
And then
meanwhile, Seizu boys come by with like 2 or 3 of them with guns and just shoot inside the car, right? Like a bunch, yeah,
a lot, yeah. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah. And I was like, oh, movie's over. Leto's dead. The whole crew is dead. That's it. Okay, Seizu's won. Great,
except for. No one's dead except
Kiyoshi. He gets one in the throat.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
They do like a whole like brother.
Yeah. Very point break.
You can't die like this, brother.
Not on my watch. Yeah. Because you got to get the cream to rise to the top.
And then Nick's like, it's okay. wait, it's not okay.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Daddy is like, what? I'm fine.
Like what? No one's like, or saying anything. We cut in on close on Leto's face being brooding, you know? Yeah. He's like, I'm be sad and angry at the same time.
My brother / future really. Actual brother-in-law.
Yeah. My ex-dead brother-in-law. All right, then we're back. He's like still covered up in blood, right? And then we're in like some like maybe a little safe house, I don't know, whatever. There's some warehouse spot, right? And but the boss is fired up, right? He's like, wow, you look at me. Yeah. And one guy's like, hey man, we should be easy. We're like a fifth of our crew left. You know the traitor
Orochi betrayed us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he's like, we can't go into a big gang war here. You know, we can't go into a war. We'll get slaughtered. And the boss is like, you think this is war? Is this war? Is this war?
Well, that's when Nick goes, "Who cares who wins?" And he's like,
Right.
"You should have a vested interest in this."
Yeah, like
we're also you.
Yeah, you're part of the family.
You're us. Yeah.
Did you sleep that ceremony where we all clapped? You drank the tea.
Okay. Yeah, and that's when you get the whole "Is this war? Is this war?"
Yeah. And then so then this is when it goes into kind of, so the sister shows up, right? And one guy's like,
"Oh,
hey man,
hey Nick, Miu's here. Up front.
You might want to go take care of her."
Yeah.
Watch out, waterworks out
Have
there.
You told her?
Yeah, have you told her? Yikes! Yeah. Bring a newspaper to cover up because there's a lot of waterworks going on out there.
That's right.
So she shows up. She's obviously distraught because she finds out that
her brother died.
Is dead. Which rolls us into a killing revenge montage.
Yep. Just like in Scarface and and Godfather and
and
every other gangster movie.
Yep. Hey, stick with what works, I guess. So you got Leto and dude killing dudes in a bar. Yep. We got other dudes strangling another dude.
Meanwhile, there's more crying. It's intercut with her crying and screaming.
And him trying to console her, and then Leto kills one of the top Sisu dudes there and handcuffed to a bed.
Pottery class?
In his undies, yeah. Oh, the pottery class.
Yeah, pottery class one. Then there's, he's in bed with a sex worker and then...
handcuffed to the bed, which...
So Jared Leto...
Never allow anyone handcuff you to the bed. I'm sorry.
That's right. That's ITMT safety tip number 15.
That's right. Number 15, don't let anyone handcuff you to a bed.
Oh, unless it's going to be a good time. I take it back.
Yeah. Well, 15, there's a caveat there. There's a dot. Unless it's for a good time.
Yeah, exactly. But I also hate the way that they did this last death here in the bed, because he shoots him in the head.
Yes.
And then he shoots him again in the back. He's handcuffed to the bed and he gets shot in the face and is dead immediately. And then he slumps over.
Yeah.
And then Nick shoots him in the back from the front.
Yeah. It is.
You're like,
is it?
Why?
Yeah. Just one shot to the head would have made it that makes it more impactful,
Way better scene. Yeah. Why do this?
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate everything.
Or if you want to get really noir with it, shoot him in the head, right? And he slumps back. And then if you really want, you can do a close up on his dead face, and be like, all right, there you go.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
Way more impactful. Instead of just shooting him in the back while he's bent over.
Yeah.
Oof.
After he's dead already.
Yeah, after he's dead already. Jared, make sure no one does that to me, okay? That's just so embarrassing.
Yeah, you got it, pal.
But I won't be handcuffed to it. Well, actually, I would be handcuffed to it because it'd be for a good time. That's
how they get you.
Broke rule number 15. All right, so then we're back in the Daddy Boss's office here, and we're following a kid. First, it just cuts to some kid running through the streets for 5 minutes.
And they're like, "Hey, wait a minute, you can't go into that gang house." And he's like, "Bye." He just runs in anyway.
Like, what?
What?
All right.
Busts into the room with Daddy and the whole crew.
Yeah,
and he's like,
"What's up, motherfuckers? I got a message for you."
From Mr. Seizu. We have to meet in neutral territory. He wants to end the war.
Yeah, meet at the factory, right? He wants. See ya. And then the boss, Daddy, there, he's like, "Yeah, all right, I'll agree to meet."
Yeah, you're like, wait, what? Everyone's like, don't do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea.
You dumb.
Then we cut to the next day. Daytime, we're in the factory space here, right? The Matsu boys show up and Daddy Boss there, and he's like, "Where are you? Show yourself! Show yourself! Where are you?" And then Sisu
but also for 5 minutes again, like everything else in this movie, it's so long.
Why even do this? Ugh. And then Caesar shows up with his gang, right? And they're kind of like, distance away, right? And
he's like, "You killed many of my most important men."
Yeah, we know. We just saw the montage. And then Orochi shows up, the traitor shows up, and everyone's like, "I knew it was him." Damn, I knew it. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
they approach each other for some reason. You're like, "Don't do that. Don't do that."
Yeah, Daddy Boss and Orochi, I'm like, someone's definitely dying now, right?
Yep. Could be either, yeah.
Could be either, but it's not going to be Orochi. And then Orochi's like, or he gives him one last chance, like, "Hey, you know what? You're still my son. You can fix this, right?" And he's like, "Nah, Dad, this is over." And he just starts stabbing him in the back.
Yeah,
which is very
mid-hug,
very on point.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Yeah, mid-hug backstabbing, huh?
Yeah. And at the same time, the boys get surrounded by a bunch of Seizu.
Yeah, Seizu guys. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, then Orochi goes over to them and he's like, "Look, y'all family doesn't exist anymore. But our new overlord Seizu is very generous, and like y'all can join.
Yep.
Not you, Nick. You have to go home.
You have to go home, but everyone else $1 a day, and you are part of the crew.
He's like, well, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, and you can't take your pregnant girlfriend either.
Yeah, she's staying here because
And then they're all just kind of like, no, you're all idiots. And they're like, well, you're a traitor. And then like there's a sniper kind of out of nowhere.
So and just before this, like there's this really funny scene. I just had to call out because
good, please.
As Orochi's like approaching like the group there, like in the background you see Seizu in the back of the car, like his face up against the window. And they cut to it. I'm like, what? Yes, kill them. I will leave the room and let you kill them all. I don't need to see it happen.
Exactly.
And then he just drives by, beep beep. I'm like, that was weird. But then Orochi approaches him and tells the whole thing, and then one guy's like, no, fight me, and he goes to like chase after Orochi, and there's a sniper just hanging out up top. Did no one look up? Like,
I guess not. I don't know. But also, like, why do they have snipers?
You come into a factory, you got to look up. You know someone's going to be
so stupid. And then they shoot Nick in the leg too, because he starts also kind of making moves.
Acting up. So they shoot him in the leg,
which is not the face, at least.
Not the face. It's better than the face.
Right.
You know,
right.
If you take one in the leg, I guess.
Yeah. And then Orochi gets in the getaway vehicle, right?
Yeah, and he drives like beep beep.
Yep. See ya.
And then the season man just like kind of like exit stage left and right, like kind of just back out. Like
I was like, I thought they were just going to kill them all.
Yeah, just shoot them all. Just that's it. Call it a day.
Valentine's Day Massacre or something. Whatever.
Right?
Who cares?
Done and done. And then we
get
back
back
to
the
club,
the bar, the home bar. Yeah.
Yeah, and we get the police there. They're smashing, tossing the place, and just burn it down.
They don't explain it all, other than like,
yeah,
we can assume the police are in the Seizu family's pocket, but also like what that might have been interesting if we followed that plot for a minute,
for like half a minute maybe.
Yeah. Give me that instead of half the other plot.
Yeah, and then we cut to Sister's house, right? And he's sneaking around, limping around, right?
He's limping around and then jumps over like a 15-foot wall.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Which is it, Morbius? Are you hurt or are you not hurt?
Yeah, it's like I feel like the next two scenes he gets more consistent by the end, but like this next scene, like it's like he's not limping sometimes and he is limping other times. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on here? And then so then he's like shh, be quiet, but I'm gonna speak it on my regular tone voice right now. And he's like, pack a bag and we need to get out of here. And he's like shh, but I'm gonna speak loudly.
Bad news bears, everyone's dead. It's not good. We gotta go.
We gotta go now.
Meanwhile, we cut back to the boys, and they're all
sad boys. We got no boss. We got no Leto.
They're at like the temporary clubhouse because the main clubhouse got burned down.
Like, we got no clubhouse. We got no dancers.
Oh man!
And the phone rings. You could be on the other end. Yeah.
It's Nick.
We don't hear what he says, but we'll find out at the end what the plan was. So he says a plan to the big guy, and the big guy's like, yeah, Nick, sure, whatever
boss,
you say.
Okay, sure thing, boss.
And he goes back. I can imagine him going back to the guys like, who was that? I don't know. I couldn't speak. It was someone speaking English.
It was the white guy, I think.
It was the white guy. I don't know. You know, he's weird.
He's been hanging around with us for months now.
Does anyone know his name?
Nick's limping around outside again.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, there's a bunch of fancy cars. I'm like, I'm assuming he's going to Seizu's.
Yeah.
They don't really... I mean, he is.
It's like their dojo, their safe or whatever. I think it was like the upstairs that he walks into is like a dojo setup.
Looks like some kind of training area. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, their clubhouse. We'll call it a clubhouse.
Their clubhouse. Yeah.
So Leto,
he's carrying the sword. One of the swords, like Kiyoshi
sneaks in, kinda right. Yeah, and he's carrying one of the swords. Of course, it's all coming back. Right.
He's the little boy who works for Seizu. Who, if you're the little boy, like scream or like run around, like you're way faster than Jared Leto.
Yeah, he's limping. He's got a limp.
Limping Jared Leto. Yeah,
and he's
yell
something.
Shh. Yeah, be quiet, little boy. I'm gonna go upstairs and maybe kill some people.
Someone who might be related to you. I don't know.
Yeah, and he just walks into the room.
Yeah, it's like boom. What's up, fuckers?
Yeah, and obviously everyone's like, "Hey,
is this the saddest dojo I've ever seen?" Let's get this going. Yeah. And they're like, you.
So they all grab him and throw him on the floor, and they're like in front of Seizu and Orochi. And Seizu's like, what do you want? And he's like, I want you to let me kill that guy.
I was like, is this really how this movie's going to end?
Yes.
This is how it's going to end. We're heading towards the end right
I hate this. I hate this so much.
So then, yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
So Nick's like, all right, give this warrior a weapon to show us how strong and brave he really is. Like we can fight right now. And so then Orochi gets up in his face and he's like, you walk into my home, you take my brother, you poison my father's mind. Someone has to put out the fire. Like I just did what had to be done.
Yeah.
You think you're a yakuza? Like you're an outsider. You're the outsider.
The outsider.
The outsider.
Movie. The movie. 2018.
Coming March 9th. Yeah.
on Netflix. Not to be
only
confused
on Netflix.
With the outsider from 2019 or 2021 or the outsiders from 1983 or 1997.
There will probably be flying cars by then, I bet. Maybe TV will be in color by then. And he's like, get up. I can't fight you. And Nick's
I'm
like,
not gonna, right?
all right. And just like cuts his throat.
He's like, see ya, homie.
Surprise. And Orochi is surprised.
Yeah.
Like after you just handed him a sword, what do you think he's going to do? And then Seiji's like, wait, everybody, let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, why? What?
Like, just kill him. Just kill Nick right now.
Yeah. Just
solve all your problems.
Yeah. Just shoot him.
Oh, and then he's like, he just like limps out with his sword, and like the little boy's like, bye,
see ya.
That's like the
stupidest
scene. Yeah,
that's it. And then we get a city transition shot, right?
Yeah.
And then we got cars, right, driving around, stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then Leto's going inside of a building. He opens up a door, right? And I think he kind of got an idea of who's here, right? You know. He opens up the door, and there's a bunch of
the boys
guys
are all pointing guns at him.
Yeah, the boys are all pointing guns at him, and sitting in the middle is Miyu.
Yep.
So clearly that was a phone call of the boys being like, hey, go get her, bring her to the safe house. Anyone but me opens that door, shoot him in the face.
Blast him. Yeah.
Blast him. Kaplowy.
And then Miyu runs over and hugs him. And then the boys all bow to him.
Oh,
my
like, God.
What? And then he does like, Jared Leto does like the Michael Corleone look where he's like, oh, like, guess this is my empire now. Wait.
The end.
Why?
The end. Like,
credits. Yeah.
Credits. I was like, what?
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It's an epic move. Epic move.
I hate it so much. Yeah. Jared Leto, famous Yakuza boss.
You know, someone was like, and Netflix is like, hey, whatever you do, just make sure at the end, leave it open where we could have a sequel.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Not like this.
Oh no. Someone had this idea and was like, no, that'll do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So that's it. That's the end of the movie.
A movie.
What a movie is correct.
Incredible.
Are we getting right into our new segment? Jared and Russ ameliorate?
I think so. I mean, you said you had some good ideas, so I'm all ears.
I don't know about good, but my thoughts, right?
Sure.
Would you like to hear them? Would you like to hear them?
Plagiarized thoughts?
Probably.
Okay.
I just punched in the old ITMT and he pumped out something for me.
What a guy.
Yeah, he's great. Two things. One, maybe this movie wasn't shot all that well. But that's not what we're focusing on. We're not focused on the execution. We're focused on the story itself. Get rid of Jared Leto. You don't need him.
Yep.
You could have this be an entirely Japanese cast. You could have the character doesn't need to be. I know it's outsider, and there's the point of that is that he's coming in from and he's different from them, right?
Yeah.
But you could just eliminate that whole storyline and just get rid of him.
The POW storyline adds zero value.
I would, and my other thought was you can stick with the same. I mean, it's generic. It's a generic whatever crime thing. It's been done a million times. As we said, that's fine. It has nothing to stand on its own.
Yeah.
And I think just having Jared Leto be the thing, that's
not the thing. Right.
So either get rid of him entirely and just have it be entirely Japanese, character story.
Yep.
Or fine, leave him in, but lean into the GI and him running away and what are his motivations and get into more of that.
Yeah.
Maybe why he's escaping from that.
Yes.
And lean into that. I'm okay with that.
Sure. Because they just hinted at it and not enough to give us anything interesting. And it was like, all right, this could have been any other person in prison at the beginning that was cellmates with Kiyoshi.
Yep.
Kiyoshi's the main character of the movie, really.
He is. And it's so they could if they lean more into that and maybe even talk, it could, turn into like the I think they were trying to get across he was having like this PTSD stuff or obviously having some mental health, he was having problems.
Give me another 2 hours of that.
Yeah, or like 4
showing
hours
like, total. Make it a 4 hour cut.
The effects of war on this person and why they are the way they are now. And you could have had a little bit way more interesting of a theme to talk about. And then it could also have been like, violence begets violence. I think that's what they were probably maybe trying to do.
Yeah, like a Godfather kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But Yeah, and I mean, overall, just don't have Jared Leto be the Don of the Yakuza.
Terrible idea. Yeah.
Like, what?
Got half the movie.
Yeah, you can tighten up a lot of stuff, but
Didn't
I
need
don't
to
know,
be 2 hours.
no, what do you think? What else, you got any thoughts? Other thoughts?
Other than like cut most of the movie. That's the big one. Also like give Orochi some more motivation. Like I don't know, like the relationship between him and Kiyoshi was interesting. And if you cut Jared Leto out, then make it about the two of them, because they're like, two sides of the coin here. Although, because I was like, Orochi thinks that Jared Leto poisoned the mind of daddy here, but like that's not really true. Like he was already going that way either way. Cut him out. You're right.
Yeah. You could do this entire movie without Jared Leto.
Yeah, I would watch Orochi and Kiyoshi show, because they
absolutely
both seem like they could have some good depth. Like his dad was abusive and Kiyoshi bashed his brains in.
Yeah.
Like, show me that.
Yeah, 100%. Because you don't need Leto at all.
No, give me the little kid. Give me the sequel with our little kid.
The messenger.
The messenger boy comes back and is like the Seizu Don eventually, and then takes out old Jared Leto.
I thought actually when he cut his Orochi's throat there, and then they did a quick shot of the boy standing there. I was like, oh, is that his son maybe, or is that like the messenger? Right, that's the name of the movie. And then you have the boy grow up to seek revenge on. Now we're talking. I mean, that's
the squeakquel. Yeah.
That's been done a million times too, but hey, we'll take it, right?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah, and I think just they tried to lean in with the noir feel, like that slow burn, but it just didn't work. I'm fine. I'm totally fine with a good slow burn. I'm okay with that. But
same.
This was just burning my eyes.
And like we said, it wasn't the worst movie that we've seen in a while.
No.
Probably the best movie we've seen in a while.
Yes.
But don't watch it, listeners. It's way too long. Just skip it. Listen to this instead.
Yeah. If you didn't already skip it from 2018, continue to skip it.
Right, yeah. You're not missing anything.
Nope. I don't know anything else for Emile reading.
I don't think so.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We had so much fun talking to your ear holes into them. Mm-hmm. We'll be back next week with a new movie. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. We're ITMT Pod on Twitter. Find us on YouTube as well.
At It's This Meets That on YouTube.
Oh my God. Come on, YouTube. Grow up. Or if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple or Stitcher or wherever, you can subscribe there. If you have friends, great. Tell them about it. If you don't have friends, email us. We'll be friends. We'll send you stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll send you stuff.
Yeah. Well, and a faraway friendship.
Yeah, pen pals. We'll be like pen pals.
We'll be pen pals. Yeah, that's right.
Pen pals. So, I mean, I'm not going to come help you move or drive you to the airport, but
no.
I'll write you an email.
Yeah. And you can write that email to us at itsthismeetsthat@gmail.com. If you want to write something shorter, you want to do something quick, you can write a little review for us. Really interact with us somehow. Comment on YouTube, comment on Instagram. Like, we love to engage with you. So engage
with us.
Right?
And then we'll all be engaged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you want to find out who you're getting engaged to, you can go to the website, itsthismeetsthat.com, where we have information about me and Russ, the whole back catalog, ITMT, 200 plus episodes at this point.
Get it.
Gold mine.
Gold mine. Just waiting.
It's gold, Jerry.
It's gold, Jerry. It's just waiting to be dug up and,
Yeah, check it out. And if you forgot, because I said a bunch in between, it's thismeetsthat.com again.